crunch is kind of on again. I know I said that I wasn't too fussed about it, but yeah, we're sort of running out of time now, so mainly because I thought I was on day shift. Works out I'm on night shift right before we got to leave, and also a couple other commitments will mean that, yeah, it's going to be a busy couple of days. Not much sleep, but at the moment I've got me 1 day off for this week basically before we go, and I've got a shitload to do. So I've got new bed liner for the tub, so the tub's now going to be cleaned, prepped up, taped off. I'm going to paint all that. Got diesel heater there because I'm probably going to need it. Try and cure it quick enough that I can drive home later. Also, what I've got to do with the tailgate is I need to cut a beam out, trim these down, same there. It's just excessive shit that doesn't need to be in there. And then also, once I wrap the line, the cover piece, I've got to glue it on as well. Hopefully I've got some sealant or some adhesive somewhere. Also, the seat might need another coat of black. Also, I've got the headliner to do, so I'm just gonna spray a little bit of black over that, just so it doesn't show through what my headliner is, and I'll show you that in a bit when I get it in there. So to make sure that's alright. I've still got to do the shifter surround, so I'm going to set that up. And we're also still going to do the deck for this jump. So mate's got a couple of pieces of timber, so we're going to set that up, and then we've also got to find a bit more timber. Just don't have quite enough. But anyway, that's just part of the deal. So yeah, and that's basically all going to be done tonight. So yeah, there's the vinyl dye, wrap the liner, the whole kit, so it's got all the tape and everything. May as well get the extra. So yeah, you saw this stuff the other night. It's come up pretty well. Sort of going that flatty sort of matte satin finish sort of thing, but that's sort of what I was chasing. I don't really want a glossy sort of black, not on this thing anyway. Also, 2 brand new guards for the front of the tow truck. So the reason I did this is I've been curious to see if the F100 repo stuff's any good. I know the Datsun repo stuff's fucking garbage. Anyway, that's enough of me talking. I've got a shitload of work to do in, I don't know, a few hours. Nothing like a crunch, you know. Most people just say fuck it, go Saturday, but yeah, I still want to go the Friday, so I'll get into it. So we're slowly smashing the jobs out. Mate came around before, we got the deck of the ramp done. I've just got to do those flat plates, I'll get to them in a bit. But I've been preparing the tub, ready for the wrapper liner. So I was thinking about getting the tintable stuff, but I've just got the black, whatever. It's the tub to work here. It's me daily, so I don't know what the go is with this stuff. Like it went on alright, and it's not too bad, but I'm just not 100% convinced with it. Because every time something would drop in there, it would just sort of like flake it off, just peel it off. It just didn't seem like it was sort of that great. The other thing is too, like I prepped it as best I could and prepped it how you meant to. But it just seemed to leach through, and now, yeah, there's areas where it wasn't rusty, and now it's rusty because it was, and it's all lifted up. So half the reason why I got the wire wheel on the grinder, and I've wire wheeled it, try and open it up, so rough it up, try and sort of get it exposed a bit so that the other stuff will latch onto it as best as it can. I know you probably should just strip it all and start again, but yeah, a lot of us don't have that luxury, and I'm not keen enough to do that. So also I've prep soled it as well. So the prep sole, because it's a water base, it doesn't like chemicals. So the prep sole, because it's got chemicals in it, you can actually wipe it and it starts coming off on your fingers. So it's kind of opened it up again. So hopefully that'll also help the other stuff latch on as well. That's the problem with anything that's water based. It's easy to use, yes, but you get like this in your underbody stuff, and say if you spray it and clean it with something with chemicals, or it ends up underneath, you drive over something or whatever, it'll just start to go soft and it'll just come off on your fingers. You wipe it with a rag and it'll just colour the rag up because chemicals are actually starting to break it down. So if you can do it with a good two-part sort of setup, it's a lot better and it'll handle a lot more. So I did this just because it was as quick and easy as it was, but I didn't really expect it to sort of start leaching through. Pretty happy with the kit. I bought the kit with all the paper and the tape and everything, and yeah, I run my tape run, the green stuff, and then the reel comes out. And you don't leave it on the ground. So yeah, it just pulls off with the tape already on it. You just run along, push the tape on, unfold the paper because it's in a few sort of folds, as you can see. And yeah, it covers the whole ute up, so it's bloody handy. Otherwise you're trying to find shit to cover it with and taping extra than you need, and it's just not worth it. So I'll yeah, get some more primer and just chuck it on a couple of the areas. I've Fahrenheited it for a bit of extra protection as well. I've cleaned it as best I can, but just a little bit of Fahrenheit always helps. And then yeah, I'll just do a couple of bits of primer and then I'll get into painting it.
Back in the day of the cat in the cradle, I was tapping a table, rapping away at my grade school. That was the playful way I managed to stay cool. That and I acted disabled, having an attack in my nasal passage was painful. I was taking a crap with an anal catheter cable. Ladies, I'll better your bagel. Speaking of magical angels, I've made a lot of them disappear, missing, hitting me, a freaking passenger plane full. My jacket is straight full, and the pack that I rap with is fatal. As the kraken attacking a naval captain that's trapped in the back of a wave pool. Quite raw, this is the truth I'd like more. Sick of the dudes who visit a booth but rhyme poor. I'll stick it to you like gripping some gluten.
So first coat's on. Won't hang around in here too long. It's pretty stinky. So pretty happy with how it's laying on. It's pretty easy to use too. Get your hardener in that. And a mixing cup with a fill line on it. So you really can't fuck it up. So yeah, gun works pretty well. So does the bench. Nice gun holder we got here. It's actually pretty handy. So yeah, that was only 2 bottles. Just sort of stuffed around at the end of that second bottle. Just went over all the joins and that because I want them to be sealed. Don't want anything getting in there because that will be the end of the quarters. I'll let that cure. I think it's about an hour before I do the next lot. But yeah, 2 bottles comfortably does it. So and that's yeah, a fairly large tub on it. So yeah, we'll get that done, but I've just got to do this tailgate now. I won't paint inside because it's not really that bad. That's what the back piece is for, go over the top. So what I want to do is I kind of overdid this because I thought I was going to be using it and rolling welders and shit over it. And it works out, I just take it off all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them out, try and not wreck any of the paint. So I'll tape it off, chop it out, and then I'll just prime the bits that need done, and then I'll just probably just spray some black in there or something. And yeah, trim those down, and then yeah, I can glue the back panel on once it's dry. And yeah, won't have this cattle truck looking setup going on here, but
Speak heat for the beat, yeah, you amateurs know this. Packed with emotion, max so devoted that I could travel the ocean. Ready for all, ready for anything, ready for war. Beheading my enemies, every melody ended their dreams since we entered the door. Step to the ward, our loony bin. Many disorders, noose is thin. Stress from the trauma, fetching some water. Medicine for the mood I'm in.
I guess it's plain to see I'm nuts. They hate my guts, it's okay with me. I came from nothing and changed to something that they ain't to be. So if you really wanna fight me inside psych wards, climbing the wall, screaming about street dreams that I've seen as the night falls, eyeballs bleeding like white walls. My city has colour, my city has art. My city so gritty, I'ma kill it in a minute, put the city in a bar. Swing it willy-nilly, make you feel it in your heart. Can't deal with you half-assed children, you aren't hard, half-heart real. You would screw with your arms up after a chill, weren't chill with a knock, nah. Came from the A-line, spray lines, wake up famous from late night. Same lines break you and take you from great heights straight to the block. Cops lock you the same night. What? Seen her in the middle with a finger for the past 6 figures in the dark. Psych ward, no give them every little bit of life form. That's my thoughts, that's life when you're living in the middle of the psych ward, swinging on the cyborgs. I'm gone, find me swinging from the pillars by my cord. I'm raw, forfeit, or your corpse sits in that white chalk.
Been committed since day one, and the Looney bin is our house. Too legit and lose the shit, the rudest pricks with foul mouths. Stupid kids say prove it then, assuming shit now. Sit your ass down, bitch, you ain't fit to ask, now bow down. Truly wild as shit, juveniles or is suicidal kids transformed. That grew in style and spit ruthless now and stick through the foulest shit. Had more days of fight than I planned for.
Okay, it's all pretty well cleaned up. It's not a show job, but you're not going to see it anymore, so it's just, yeah, I designed it thinking it was going to have a weight on it, rolling welders and shit over it, but now using it, I've just realised I don't use it like that. I usually just take tailgate off now, so those pieces were just not worth having in there. Just made the tailgate heavy, didn't need to be. So I've left these ones in though because they keep the tubes straight. Like, you could probably cut them out too, but yeah, there's no real point. These keeps them nice and sturdy in there. So the last thing I want is anything moving and the tailgate not sitting properly, so just safe to leave them two in there. But yeah, I've got the old sketchy spray booth set up. Trying to get some shit cured. That's what happens when you do stuff at night, so but yeah, the old heater wouldn't fire up, and it's kind of like some movie shit. Fucking thing wouldn't fire, so I gave it a couple of fucking thing actually kicked into life. So a massive night tonight. Got most of what I wanted done, and yeah, definitely feeling it now. A few bits took a bit longer than what I thought. You expect that, but tub of the Datsun's all done. It's looking pretty good. Tailgate's all done. The panel makes it look a hell of a lot better. Also got the new headliner in. Try it with the torch. There you go. So yeah, probably a bit of a strange idea, but I reckon it's come up pretty nice. And yeah, so the bamboo thing to match the Japanese style. So I got that done. Finally get that in. And got the base of the ramp sorted. Got help from my mate before. And then yeah, I've also done these lips. Got them cut today, or yesterday now. So what I've done is I've welded little tabs on there, because what I'm going to do is just make them removable, so you're not having to put up with them sticking out, especially if you want to go through Macca's or something, you're a bit high, want to rip the roof out of the joint. So yeah, just weld tabs on, just bolt through there, stops them from sliding down when you hit them. So yeah, I'll just have a bolt, hopefully with like a wing nut, just quickly do them up, shred it, undo them, back it up, go home. Also I've got to go home now, and yeah, as weird as it sounds, paint my seat. Hopefully it's enough time for it to cure before I go to work tonight. So a little bit delayed from my Cruise to the Pines video, but killer weekend, enjoyed myself. It was good to get up there with a few of the fellas, cruise around the place, drink all the beers, do a bit of camping. Awesome to see all the cars and trucks there. It's insane some of the work that people have put into their projects, and yeah, keen as for next year. I'm hoping to bring something else, but we'll wait and see how this year goes.